Now at 6, police in Missouri arrest an attempted murder suspect wanted in Cherokee County, Kansas. Plus,
high gas prices aren't just impacting cars, they're impacting boats too. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with the impact that this has on a town that relies heavily on boating for tourism.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We have some storm chances in the area today, but they're less likely to be severe. This is KOAM News at 6. We go straight to Nick Kelly for a first look at the weather.
And we're starting it off now with the big reason why. Right in front of your eyes is 7th and Range Line. We had a lot of cloud cover. It was chilly for a good portion of the day before we got into the 60s this afternoon. Since we had the cloud cover holding on a lot longer than what some projections anticipated, this really helped us out. We're not seeing any isolated supercell thunderstorms out there right now. I do want to point out, though, that there are some rain echoes trying to pop up from Clinton down to Appleton City near Butler and just to the north of Nevada. I think that's the beginning of some scattered storms that will try to develop over the next few hours as our frontal system is working over the Kansas Turnpike. But as they get going, they're going to be very low grade severe, if not certainly a bit on the strong side, with maybe some large hail size of quarters and maybe some wind gusts near 60. That's about the strongest I expect those storms to be. But right now we're seeing at least some mild temperatures, mid 60s at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. And as those storms get going late tonight, they'll drop us into the 50s for overnight. We'll break down the rain chances overnight and tomorrow, and maybe another severe threat by the weekend too, here in a few.
See you then. A man wanted in Cherokee County, Kansas for attempted murder is arrested after a police chase in Springfield, Missouri. That man, 38-year-old Sean Houston, last night a Greene County Sheriff's deputy tried to pull over the driver of an SUV for suspicion of drunk driving. Authorities say Houston drove off but was stopped with spike strips. A woman in the vehicle was also arrested. Detectives identified Houston as a suspect in a shooting west of Baxter Springs early Monday morning. Cherokee County Sheriff David Grove says the victim, a man, was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. While a lot of drivers have been feeling pain at the pump, so have boat owners. Areas like Grand Lake that rely heavily on boating and tourism could feel the impact. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with representatives of an outdoor store and the Area Chamber of Commerce about the potential impact on Grand Lake's economy this summer.
Prices aren't just affecting car owners, but boat owners as well.
I have seen that the boat numbers in tournaments are down a little bit already this year.
Grand Lake is home to many fishing tournaments, especially during the summer months. But David Hale, owner of Honey Creek Outdoors in Grove, says he's already seen the effects these gas prices can have.
A couple of our big trails that normally run 280 to 300 boats is down around the 250 boat deal now. So it is going to have a impact on the whole economy here, I think, before the year's over.
Hale says he's heard from boat owners dealing with the increase.
Oh yeah, definitely. We hear it. Every fisherman comes in here, oh, I got to go put $200 in my boat, where last year it took them $100 to fill their boat up. So yeah, they all complain about it, and rightfully so. I mean, it's something they really enjoy to do. Now it's costing them a whole lot more money to do it.
And the high gas prices don't just affect those who drive boats, also the town, which relies on boating for tourism.
You know, we have concerns. Obviously, every dollar that people are having to spend because of inflation or higher prices, that's less money that they can use whenever they're traveling and visiting places.
Donnie Crane, president of the Grove Area Chamber, says he hopes that amid this surge in prices, Grove and 4-state residents will use the opportunity to support locally.
We're definitely watching the prices of gas and inflation, but we're hopeful that people can still take advantage of the lake and be able to enjoy themselves, even when their budgets might be a little bit tight.
In Grove, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
For a look at current area gas prices and how they've changed over the past year, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Brings us to today's KOAM News Now Instapoll. Today's question, are high gasoline prices impacting your summer plans? You can participate at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live, and we're going to check in on them a little bit later in this newscast. A Missouri bill would put restrictions on how race is discussed in public K through 12 schools. Under the bill, students, parents, and teachers could file complaints for alleged violations with Missouri's Attorney General or the state education department. Critics say it could scare educators from having difficult conversations about history and race. But supporters say it's meant to prevent students from being indoctrinated in school. A wave of new restrictive abortion laws have been enacted in Republican-controlled states this year. In Oklahoma, where a near-total abortion ban was enacted this month, some major corporations are addressing the law, and some say it's bad for business. Bree Clark reports.
We want Oklahoma to be the most pro-life state in the country.
It's a signature that reproductive advocates like Rhea Ventures say could cost Oklahoma billions.
There was a study done by the Institute for Women's Policy Research, a think tank in Washington, that found that abortion restrictions in Oklahoma are costing the state as much as $1.7 billion a year in lost revenue to the state. That's mind-boggling.
And with more Oklahoma-based remote workers from companies headquartered in other states, major employers like Apple, Citibank, and Yelp are responding. Just last week, Yelp announced it would cover the travel expenses of employees who must travel out of state for abortions, saying in a statement, "We've long been a strong advocate for equality in the workplace and believe that gender equality cannot be achieved if women's health care rights are restricted." And experts expect more companies to follow suit.
You'll see a lot of companies that are going to enact that policy, but may not be quite as public about it.
Advocates say this could also impact companies already struggling to fill jobs, as many women have left the workforce.
Companies are really hurting for women right now, especially in the wake of the so-called Great Resignation. Well, that's why it's really important that companies speak to lawmakers and to emphasize to them that restrictive abortion policies really take a toll on the overall talent pool and lead to an unhealthy situation for everybody in the state, that it's in everybody's best interest to have a population where people can do family planning, whatever that means for them.
Certain corporations also say recent abortion restrictions go against their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies because the laws disproportionately affect minorities. The Miami, Oklahoma Fire Department is asking for the public's help to save one of its fire trucks. The 1949 Seagrave Pumper No. 6 fire truck has been with the department for decades. Officials say it's been instrumental in saving countless lives, but it's wearing down and is in desperate need of restoration. So the department hosted a fundraiser by cooking and selling some barbecue.
We've got gentlemen that are retired that worked on this truck, rode on the tailboard of this truck, and it's a symbol for the fire department of our longevity and our accomplishments.
Volunteers from Miami High School and the city of Miami helped serve the lunches. Coming up, how a local florist is using flowers to support the people of Ukraine. Plus, the Joplin School District announces its Support Staff of the Year award winner. Local florist is selling sunflowers to raise money for Ukraine. The national flower for Ukraine is the sunflower, so Higdon's florist in Joplin is collaborating with Samaritan's Purse to raise money for Ukraine by selling sunflowers. You can add one or more to your purchase of any arrangement, and the proceeds will go to help Ukraine.
A fantastic opportunity for, even on the local level, for us to support the efforts in number one, Samaritan's Purse, and the events that are going on internationally in Ukraine.
The additional sunflowers will cost $5 per stem. The Joplin School District is recognizing a school resource officer as the Support Staff of the Year. Officer Jason Burchack has worked for the JPD for 16 years. 11 of those years were also spent with the school district. Officer Burchack says working with the school has been rewarding.
I'm always willing to help. I'm always willing to step up and do whatever that needs to be done, whether that's law enforcement related or not. I don't mind coming in and helping out on stuff that's not necessarily a police officer's job. but just always being willing to step up and be here for them and create positive relationships with the kids, because not every kid has a positive relationship with a law enforcement officer.
Our congratulations. The award's decided by administrative staff who use a rating system to come up with the winner. Folks in Uniontown, Kansas looking to get in shape for swimsuit season now have a new option. The school district has reopened the Uniontown Fitness Center. It's closed to the public because of COVID. Now it's open before and after school during the week and all day on weekends. A key to access it costs $10. Fitness Center is located on the southeast corner of the junior and senior high school. A little bit later, 7 Webb City High School athletes signed to continue their careers at the next level.
But first, I'm keeping an eye on not just storm chances for tonight, but tomorrow and the weekend too. Forecast next. We were waiting to see if Mother Nature could fire up a few possible isolated to scattered supercell thunderstorms, but all the clouds that you're seeing from our live shot of landers, at least from landers outside of the city limits of Joplin almost, overlooking 44, all this cloud cover ended up being our saving grace. It really has not allowed any moisture to rise up and get thunderstorms going. And if you remember what Doug said the other day, like if we had any peaks of sun break out, this would have been a different evening that was about to unfold. But again, the cloud cover held on, kept us quiet throughout the day. But let us look at the radar network overall. Has us dry, although I do see a couple of light rain echoes that have been trying to get going. They don't look impressive right now. Maybe a few light showers from the Harry Truman Reservoir from Clinton down to Osceola, Appleton City, and passing to the east of Rich Hill. That's something I'll keep an eye on because that could be the signs of some scattered storms that'll form later on this evening ahead of the approaching front. But also in the short term, if anything can get going that could be a big hail threat or a wind threat, I want to mainly keep an eye on the Kansas-Oklahoma line and south into northeast Oklahoma. That's where in the short term I think if we had anything try to go and turn quite severe, it will be in that corner of our viewing area. In the meantime though, cloudy sure, but we are dry and still mild at the 6 o'clock hour because of that south wind gusting to 32. It's pushing Joplin to 65 degrees right now, lower to middle 60s. Pretty much all across the board until you hit Sedan, you're at 72 degrees because the front that's coming in is knocking on your door, and it is a front that you can clearly see where the northerly winds are kicking in by the turnpike. That's where the front is, and that's what's going to come in and give us a better shot for more scattered storms late tonight. At least we're dry overall to start the evening out. And as the rain chances get going and the cloud cover takes hold, we'll see generally mid to upper 50s for a good portion of us tonight. Let me show you another perspective. There we go. On where this front is in our corner of Kansas now stretching back into the southern plains. And this is an upper level wave. It's not strong. This is another big reason why we really haven't seen anything blossom to fruition just yet. But again, along the Kansas-Oklahoma line down south, let's just keep an eye on this area up until about 11 o'clock. If any individual cells try to get going, wind and hail will be the biggest issues, but this is more likely how the storm chances will play out for the course of the evening. As the front comes on in, we'll see some scattered storms get going late tonight and continue in some form or fashion in our southern counties as the front stalls out for tomorrow morning. But then the front starts lifting back to the north throughout the day. That's going to keep some rain and thunderstorm chances around. Nothing looks severe, but despite all of that, it's going to be a warmer day tomorrow. 58 in the morning, 69 by noon, and highs here 76 with that south wind eventually at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wanted to quickly show you Thursday evening. I think any big storms that blossom out west will stay to our west. Looking quiet to start Friday out, and then we're back in the 80s with a cap in place. That will keep us dry, but then you see the thunderstorm chances picking up again Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and into Sunday. That's the next big system on the way, and that could be a better shot, unfortunately, for some severe weather. Once we get behind that, though, Dow, we'll dry out for early next week, and temperatures looking good from 62 Monday to 71 Wednesday.
Yeah, starting next week, the weather looking very promising.
It is indeed.
Thanks, Nick. Coming up in sports, 8 Webb City student athletes signed to continue their careers at the college level. And we're going to hear from a Southeast Kansas high school football coach who's calling it a career after 50 years on the sideline.
Well, today is a big day for a big group of Webb City High School student athletes. 8 Webb City seniors signed today to continue their careers at the college level. Now, in that group, Eric Fitch signs today to play baseball at State Fair Community College. Fitch was a first-team All-COC pick last year and an All-District selection. And Josie Speakerwright is heading just up the road to Ozark Christian College to play basketball. They had one football signing today at Webb City. Skylar Denton is headed to Springfield to play tight end for Evangel.
The coaches were nice, their program was nice, their beliefs. Just followed what I wanted to do, and I felt like I'd fit in the best there.
I'm thrilled. I'm excited. I've pretty much always wanted to play college basketball. I didn't really know where or what that opportunity would look like, but I'm just really thankful for the opportunity and that I get to do this.
It's just been a big stress reliever. I've been thinking about it for a while, ever since I told the coaches that I wanted to be there, and it's just great to finally get it over with and know that I'm actually going.
You can check out more of our interviews with the Webb City signees in this story on the sports page at KOAMNewsNow.com. Riverton High School head football coach Johnny Mallett has announced his retirement. Mallett spent the last 6 years as the Rams head coach, his second stint with the program. Mallett has been coaching in the area for the last 50 years, 43 at the prep level, 7 years at the college level. 41 of his 43 years in high school have been at Galena, Baxter Springs, and Riverton. We caught up with Coach Mallett today to talk about his retirement and what kept him in Southeast Kansas for so many years.
Tell you what, I'm an old Galena boy and grew up in the CNC League, but I wanted to have my kids know their grandparents, and they all live back here. And I couldn't think of a better spot than old Galena, Riverton, Baxter, you know. People ask me, oh, are you going to miss football, Johnny? You know, and I said, I'll miss the kids more than I will the game of football.
The St. Louis Cardinals have won 3 out of their last 4 games, including Game 1 of a 3-game series last night against the Marlins. Now, tonight, the Cards hit the field for Game 2 against Miami, looking to secure the series win. Now, this game has already started. Right now, it's scoreless in the bottom of the second inning. We'll have the latest from this one right here tonight at 10. We'll also have the latest from this one. The Royals host the Twins for Game 2 of their series, aiming for a 3rd straight win. First pitch for that one is at 7:10 at Kauffman Stadium. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. James Quinn served in the U.S. Navy from 1943 to 46 and then in the Air Force from 1948 to 1968. The Fayetteville, Arkansas native was stationed in Japan, Korea, and Vietnam. And we salute Master Sergeant James Quinn, a 4-state hero. Of course, you can learn about lots of other heroes. We have more than 3,000 in our database. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime, and it's very simple to do. Just go to our website and click on the link. It's KOAMNewsNow.com. All right, let's take another look at our KOAM News Now Insta poll. We're asking, are high gasoline prices impacting your summer plans? And so far it's fairly close, but a majority, 55%, say yeah. You still have time to participate at KOAMNewsNow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. We're going to have the final results for you tonight on KOAM News at 10. Nick Kelly and Doug Hetty and the rest of the weather team have been telling us for a while that the likelihood of severe weather today was going to depend in large part on whether the cloud cover continued today. The good news is cloud cover did continue. It means the severe weather chances were lessened.
And every hour we get past down, the chances turn even slimmer, but we'll still watch for thunderstorms. There we go. That'll start picking up more numerously tonight into tomorrow with highs near 76.
Final sports notes.
Joplin High School named the new head softball coach today, Brendan Schneider. We're going to hear from him right here tonight at 10.
Looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us. We will see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Salon service is provided by the Wild